Boom. Okay, I got John Quinn and I were talking the other day, Philly District Sales Manager, Philly Metro area, and John mentioned we need to level set as him and I were brainstorming. So that's perfect title for what we're doing today. Thought I'd go look it up in net lingo, getting everyone on the same page or bringing everyone up to speed so they all have the same basic understanding of a situation or a project. So this opportunity came upon us. We invested in it. It's a great opportunity. The trick right now is to get the skill sets up, to proficiency levels up, and the understanding of the flexibility and the dynamics of the tools we have at our hands. So today, the purpose is to do that, take a step forward. Mr. Bruce Thompson, the CEO of Pearl Solutions, is with us. He's currently muted, but I can unmute him at any time. We're going to have an open Q&A at the end, so know that's coming. So again, what we're going to do today is look at, in this level set update, is look at two avenues to work this program. Understand the relationship between the mobile opportunity, or I guess not an app, but the mobile opportunity and the desktop opportunity. We're really going to focus, take a look at things from that desktop, take some key portal screenshots, particularly the pre-approval area, and we'll highlight some key features and sneak a best practice or two in there along the way. We're going to look at some key data points. You're going to be getting daily and weekly updates as we go forward, which should be pretty helpful. Again, comments from Bruce Thompson, Pearl Solutions CEO, and we'll do some Q&A at that same time. In the meantime, we also have the chat function, so please feel free at any time to shoot your question. Bruce and I are going to keep an eye on that, and we'll do our best to answer those questions. Okay, so I mentioned the two avenues, and Bruce and I had a brief phone conversation this morning, and we were just kind of sharing perspectives on how we're doing getting this thing launched, where we're at. I've been around quite a few of the dealerships as the district sales managers also, so we talk every day. And it occurred to me in some cases folks were real heavy on the mobile app, which is great, and some were real heavy on the desktop, and in some cases weren't aware that the programs worked simultaneously, and as you update one, they both update. So it's important to understand that you have two ways, there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. We have the rapid proactive messaging opportunity right there. That's handled from your cell phone. There's a really good video out. We can send a link. In fact, when I'm going to send a videotape of this out, and I'll make sure that I include that link in there. I've looked at this many a time. It's real concise, to the point. It gives you great direction on how to use that RPM tool from your cell phone. Conversely, you also have the portal, and that can be handled from your desktop, and that's where today's focus is going to be. I actually was in a store the other day, and there was a very capable person who was aggressively working the RPM, made the comment to me, said, I enjoy it, but sometimes I have nimble fingers, and I would just rather sit with a cup of coffee at my desk and work. And I said, well, then just use the portal. And he was like, oh, okay, I didn't really comprehend that part of it. So, we want to just make sure everybody understands the flexibility of the program. You can go back and forth between the two. Okay, so when you log on to the portal, everybody was given the link, and you have a login and password. And if this is a problem, we also are providing the customer service number at Pearl. They've been very responsive, so you can just call them. But this is what you see when you log on, this basic landing page here. And it's, if you'll notice to the left, the options down the left side, pre-approvals, hot leads, etc. We are in the pre-approvals area. Okay, so let me just graze. I got that first customer at the top there. Let's graze kind of left to right on what this all means. Probably stating the obvious, but can't hurt to reinforce. So each customer will have a number right there to the left of their name. What that means is that's how many current auto loans they have in their name. So if you graze down, you've got 2, 2, 2, 3, 2. Furthermore, you could hit that expand button, and now I'm not going to do that today, but it'll expand the customer's record, and then you could actually go over and see what the loans are, the amount, etc. So very handy tool to understand where they're at. So as we are given information about a particular Conquest loan, there's probably additional opportunity within that household, just like we experience with Playbook, knowing that there are perhaps several garage mates in there. Sometimes the target one we're going after leads to a secondary opportunity or an alternative opportunity. So continuing on, you get this is what you see, the customer's name, obviously, who the salesperson, I typed in salesperson, it could be a BDC agent or a salesperson, whoever's assigned sales manager. The customer status, this is what you control as you take care of actions. The way you choose this various statuses, click on that drop down, and then you'll get this long list of options, okay? Not started, called, wrong number, etc. It defaults to not started. So as I'm in dealerships and I look down and I see an actionable name, a customer who opened the email that they received, that clicks the actionable status, and we see not started, you're behind the power curve right there. So it's imperative that we know somebody's assigned to that customer and we've done some action, particularly send that initial email out from the dealership. And again, it's important that you update customer status after each action taken. I'd equate this to the work we do when we're building outbound campaigns. We're contacting customers, particularly from business development centers, making sure we document in the CRM. I would equate this to that. It's that important. Also, the email function. So you get the thumb. If you'll notice in this case right here, there's a thumb there. That means it's an actionable customer. Right there, click that email, and then boom, this comes up. It'll have your name, the assigned person's name. It'll have the customer's email, and then what you could do from that point is just select the template. Just click down. Pearl Solutions is provided. You might want to look it over, clean it up a little bit if you need, but just looking, and for instance, here's an example of the lease forward, the lease pull ahead as we call it. And this is probably the most common email I've seen sent out at this point. I won't torture you with reading that, but it's just a non-threatening, non-intrusive, friendly follow-up to the email that's sent out from the LMA, or the hard mail that was sent out from the LMA. It's letting them know that you're their person. They can communicate with you about pursuing this offer. Please note, you can also create your own emails. That's fine. I've been in dealers and talked to folks where you're building your own stuff. That's great. Pearl has built the templates for you, or you can do your own. Okay, so moving on, continuing just on that first customer record, you can also see their credit tier, A, B, or C. You can see what their monthly payment is, how many payments they've got left, what their estimated balance is at this point, and again, if they've opened that email, and the date there, 11/10. So this particular customer received the email, and they opened the email on the 10th. If in fact we have the RPM set up, the RPM alerts, the person assigned to that would have received an alert, and they could have actually just responded right from their cell phone. Or you could just do it from your desktop and shoot an email from there. Up top, again, you also have the ability to export to Excel the entire database. I encourage everybody to do that. You can export both to your CRM, and you have this advanced search function. And I would really encourage you. Good morning, Amy Thompson. Welcome. I'd encourage you to utilize that advanced search function. It's pretty handy. It's particularly picked up in the last couple of days where I find folks trying to do a filter sort kind of thing. So you hit it. This is what you'll see. Let's get to familiar with this advanced search function. So you can basically go in and like in Excel, you can filter and sort, if you will. So here you can go by the lead status. You can pull all the not starteds and actionable. So that would be a huge thing to do. That would be like a best practice, a good thing. What do I need to do right now? If nothing else, do that. People who have opened emails and we haven't done anything, that's a sin. We got to work it. The list goes on, not started, logged in, etc. The other one is customer status. Right there, as you can see, follow up, lost sale, conquered, email sent. What have we done? And you control that. You absolutely control that. Lead sent to CRM. status, at this point, people who have you perhaps interacted with, probably a good idea. All not sent, completed, etc. Contact type. You can sort it by those who you emailed, those who you phoned, or both. Experian loan. This goes back to what I talked about earlier. You can drop down here and it'll enable you to determine if the customer has additional loans and/or leases in their name before you contact them. And over here, you can see you can sort it by assigned personnel. So you can divvy it up within your sales team or BDC team or a combination of both and have a nice compact list to work on. Credit tier, again, where they're at, A, B, or C. You have a payment left function to remember. These are all going to be great filters where you can identify particular customers, and this is a real strong checkbox, actionable only. These again are folks with the thumbs up who have opened the email. So let's look at a suggested best practice that you can use this advanced search function. So you break your follow-up prospects down into smaller segments. You can select, if you look at the top, you type in, actually what you do is just click right there where it says payment left greater than, just click on that. And the example I'm giving right here, you could type 0, so it's going to be greater than 0, so that's 1 and more. And then over to the other side, payments left less than, let's just say hypothetically you put in 5. So now you've got a customer or a prospect has 1 to 4 payments left on their lease. You can go by the assigned to, pick your sales consultants, break that out, and then click actionable. And at that point, you have a real nice filtered campaign, if you will, that enables a BDC rep or a salesperson to get focused on those customers who have opened the emails, they're nearing the end of their lease, and maybe we need to review and scrub the contact that we've made to them. And obviously, you can filter this to your particular needs. Some key data points, as I mentioned, you're going to get weekly updates, daily and weekly updates. Here's a sample of what a daily update, daily report would look like. We're going to tell you the number sent, and if you look at the legend at the bottom, the number sent means the number of leads assigned through RPM distribution logic. So Mr. John Lennon, you guys have a high payroll there, whoever this dealer is, he's received 12. He hasn't opened any, he hasn't worked any. Obviously, we need to have a conversation with Mr. Lennon. Look down at Paul McCartney, 12 sent, 12 opened, worked 12. He's rocking. Beautiful thing. So again, open being number of leads viewed by the user, worked number of leads that show an action being performed upon them by the user, percentage opened, percentage leads opened in relation to the number of leads, and of course, worked in relation to the number of leads. So that's a pretty cool report. So you'll be getting that daily. And then we'll get a weekly summary too, again, just to compile that particular data. Just a reminder on the sequence. So we kicked this off. We did the initial training that Mr. Thompson and the team did on the 8th and the 9th of November. The first email dropped on the 10th. We had a direct email go out 1 week ago, and now we have the 16th. We have had an email drop. And then again, the 24th, 27th, and then it continues right into December. So that same rhythm is there, and the LMA is keeping an eye on the content, making sure it's lively, current, and compelling. So rest assured that they're really kind of keeping a real good eye on that, scrutinizing the effectiveness of that. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Bruce. Hang on a second, Bruce. Let me unmute you here. And boom. And Bruce is going to talk a little bit, share a few thoughts. I didn't see anything on the chat, so looks like everybody's okay. Bruce, you if you could, just any follow-up you got to that. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we're open to Q&A. Let's work through this and make sure we're effective. It's all yours, Bruce.
Thanks, Kevin. I think you did a fantastic job on the portal. And, just to reiterate, you get in there with the best practices. It's a dual platform application. So, you can use it, for both. You can get an alert on your RPM on your mobile device. You can email a customer back, which is the best practice, by the way, because those actionables are whenever you get a text message or an alert on your phone, that means the customer actually clicked in to the email. So you can email them back very quickly and move to the next one. And as Kevin indicated, I can set a status there, and I could go to the portal. I could get those text messages and go to the portal and work them. But it's, the more timely we are, I think the more effective that we're going to be. So we're going to be sending out those reports as Kevin indicated, just to give you guys an idea of how many we're sending. We're not going to send one in a 5-day period. So in other words, if a customer open one and we don't have a user at your dealership set up, let's say it's a week later, I'm not going to queue all those up and then all of a sudden send all those out, because you get inundated with, text messages. But, if it's been after a 5-day period, we're going to do weekly emails. You're going to start to see the email percentage open. We had basically about a 16-17% open rate our first weekend, which is great. That will be increasing on a weekly basis. We anticipate by the time the program's over, 40%, 39 to 40%, like we achieved in New York. So you're going to be getting a lot of actionables. You're going to be getting a lot of customers, even though maybe they don't, trade in with you today, everybody needs to understand this is an expiring lease list. And, as these customers near maturity, they will be making a decision as they get their payment book each month and they get to write that check. It's so important to stay in front of them. And as we stay in front of them, they start making those decisions. They just got that email from us, or you got that regular mail piece, and all of a sudden they convert. And what we see here, we're about 20% into this program. We got about 80% left to go. This thing's going to run through the end of the year. So let's set our expectations right. As I indicated, if we're going to get a 3% close ratio, we need to follow up with 33 customers on average. And on the RPM or the portal here, it doesn't take much to send back a follow-up email. Templates are all there for you. And if we can do that and we can stay consistent during the course over the next, several weeks to the end of the year, I think we're going to be very, very successful. And Kevin, I thank you. I think it was a great job. The video on the RPM, you guys, if we can send that out, it's actually on every mobile user's phone. You can click the help button and see that video, and it'll walk him through just like Kevin walked you through here on the portal. It'll walk you through on your mobile, and everything translates. So anything you do on the portal is going to be reflected on your phone when I get into that record, and vice versa. So it's seamless. It's your preference how you want to use it. I think the most important thing is that we're consistently following up with these customers that are drilling into our offers. They wouldn't be drilling into the offer if they weren't interested. So, and they weren't nearing a maturity. Our messaging is only going to get more personalized, this next week and following. And what we found is the more personalized we get, the more opens we get, and the more engaged the customers get. So I'm very excited. I think we're going to be very successful here. We start putting out Axiom. We'll start releasing the performance reports next week. So we'll start getting those out to everyone, see how many we've converted thus far, and then we go from there. So I'm open to any questions. You got any questions for me or Kevin? Kevin, I'll turn it back over to you.
Very good. Hey, so Bruce, we got one. It's in the chat function. Carrie Clayman, we're not getting our pings, and after calling technical, they never got back to us. That's
Okay,
A&T Chevrolet, I believe, right? Carrie, is that correct?
A&T?
Yep. Hey, Carrie, you're unmuted. That's A&T, right? Okay. Yeah, I'll verify that, but yeah, Bruce. So if we could double check on that, I'll verify the dealership and kind of go from there. We'll
get on the phone with them directly afterward. Yeah.
Yeah, folks. I believe if you hit *6, you'll unmute yourself. So if you do that, you can shoot your questions through that. I'm going to try. This is always a disaster. Oh, not bad, actually. Not bad. Yeah, everybody's unmuted right now. Usually it sounds like chaos. How we doing out there? Any questions for Bruce or myself? How we feeling? We good? We're getting confident at this thing?
We,
Hello? All right.
we have another question there on the chat, Kevin, from
Yeah.
Samantha. And she's asking basically, is there any way they can find out what kind of vehicle they're currently leasing?
Right. So hang on, Bruce. I think Bruce, I apologize. I accidentally muted you, man. You're back now. I got you. So Sam Stein, is there any way to find out what kind of vehicle they're leasing currently? And the answer is no. They don't have that data. What about Bruce, the segmenting issue? Is that out of the question, or is that coming?
You know, that it should already be in there. If it's not, it'll be in there today, but it's going to show you the propensity, what this customer is likely to be upgrading to. So whenever you see that, you're going to see, okay, this customer is likely to be upgrading into a domestic mid-size sedan or entry-level SUV or crossover vehicle. So that'll give you an idea, you know, of the scoring methodology that we use. We use Experian. It's 1,000 different elements to determine what a customer is likely to purchase, propensity to purchase. And so if it's not up there now, it will be by the end of the day. So that'll give you an idea when you get the customer on the phone what they're likely to upgrade to.
Very good. Very good. You know, I will tell you that sitting in dealerships, you know, it's that payment that the current payment obviously is pretty strong intel. You know, if you got a $172 payment versus a $598 lease payment, that gives you some intel. I realize that's kind of ambiguous, but it certainly gives you some level into the level of vehicle, or maybe the segment of vehicle that they're working on. Hey, John Quinn and Jeff, if you're out there, I unmuted both of you in case you guys want to chime. We have two of our district sales managers with us. Jeff, I don't know. I'll start with you, Jeff K. Do you have anything to add or any questions, concerns?
Yeah, Kevin, can you hear me?
Yep, man. You're unmuted, Jeff. Hear you perfectly.
So what I found out working with everyone through the last week, if you haven't received an RPM text message alert, you should have by now. So if you're on the line and you haven't, there's two things you want to check. First, you want to check if you are in there with your proper cell phone. And also, if you call the 1-800 number and hit option 1, or if you send an email to chevy@pearlsolutions.com with your information, they'll be able to get you activated on that. And the key to this is, as those RPM alerts are coming in, that you're immediately sending them an email through the portal that you log into. And then also, once you do that, going into the dashboard and assigning that customer to someone to work, and also changing their status to email sent. So A, you're able to track your efforts, and B, you're not duplicating emails and sending customers multiple emails because you haven't updated that.
And I might just chime in there on that, Jeff. This is Bruce again. When you get that alert on your phone, you can actually, right there on the phone, everyone, you can email the customer back immediately right there. Just click your email button, select the template, and go. You can also, to Jeff's point, assign it at that point in time to any salesperson that you'd like to. If you haven't done that, it's got to assign. You can drop it down right on the phone, and then you can put a status right from the telephone as well. And then all that will be translated into the portal. So you don't have to duplicate efforts. You're going to know what you've done on the mobile, and you've responded in a very quick fashion, and then all your notes and everything are updated, obviously, in the portal. So you can do it from either way you want to do it. You can get a text and go to the portal and handle it, or you can handle it right from your phone, and then everything's going to translate and follow up on the portal.
How about John Quinn? John, any comments from you? Any thoughts, questions, etc.? Well, John. Okay.
There is a question here. You can change your basically your credentials at the bottom of your email. If you want to give us a call, you can be VIP coordinator, you can be whatever you want. So give us a call or pop us an email, and that basically is a 10-minute change. So if you want to change your salutation, your number, and your contact information, your title, just let us know.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, hey, John. How you doing, buddy? Good morning.
Yeah, sorry, I was muted. One thing, the phone number to call for Pearl, it's 888-339-1116, and that's option 1. And then the other thing, Bruce, I'm going to throw this out to you. I understand if a dealer is working a customer and they've established that relationship, they may want to shut off the emails from you, so they're not getting inundated with emails. Is there a way to do that?
Yeah, so I think we already put a status there, do not send email, but I will verify that. If it's not there, it'll be there today. So if you want to shut off future emails to that customer because you're working them, there will be a status on that drop down that allows you to say, don't send future emails. And if you put that status in, then the system will be notified not to send any future emails to the consumer.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Bruce, I put as you can see in folks, I put the customer support number right there. Hey, John, thank you, by the way. I appreciate that, man. There's the number right there. Select 1, and that the vehicle exchange option should be good, and Chevy@PearlSolutions.com. They'll take good care of you. My experience has been they've been pretty responsive. We're certainly going to look into that one situation and make sure that that's resolved, Carrie, without a doubt. And we'll work on getting that fixed. What other questions or comments you got, ladies and gentlemen? Anything else? The chat's working pretty good. I'm going to try. I got everybody unmuted. Anybody want to chime in? I've got everybody, unmuted at this point. Anyone?
Samantha's asking, do we know how many appointments and sales have occurred so far? I'm not going to know the appointment set. I suppose I could go through and look at your various statuses, but a lot of folks also push them to CRM, so we're not going to get a one-to-one necessarily there on appointment set. But next week, I would tell you typically we get the report from Axiom on Tuesdays. I should be able to have a report to everyone on Wednesday. That'll show you by dealership. It'll show you how many records from your manifest list have converted. And then it will also show us, who is converted, right? So it'll show us how many you've converted off your list, how many have been converted off the list. That means customer may have gone to another dealership within your region there. But it'll give you some very clear clarification on the number of conversions and how you're doing.
Sam, we do have numbers we're working on. Bruce's team is sending the Philly LMA an overall summary. It's more performance oriented in terms of how we're responding, opening, sending emails, updating the status, and those types of things. And down the road, we'll hopefully be able to give some more positive feedback. Hey, Bruce,
Kevin, it's Jeff.
We've got a couple others here. Tom Kennedy. Good morning, Tom. Appreciate the comment from Tom. One thing that helped me with the pings was calling in, changing the number on file, then having it change back to my regular number. Yeah, I happen to have been with Tom when he worked that out over in Jersey, and he was having a heck of a time. So simply, they just could not technically get that thing to work, they changed the number and then flipped it back, and boom, within minutes it was working. That's great feedback, Tom. Brother Clay Wessel, the email is easy to edit if you have Outlook on your phone. So that's something to work there. Go Eagles, by the way, Brother Clay. I'm a diehard Giants fan, man. Boy, the Eagles are tearing it up, brother. Tearing it up. It's all good. And then Jim Jenkins.
Kevin, it's Jeff.
Yep. Hey, Jeff.
I think we got a little bit of confusion. I saw Jim's question there about the mobile app.
Yep.
Jim, to your question, it's not a mobile app. The RPM alert comes in as a text message with a link that takes you to a mobile-friendly site. Kevin, do you have the screenshot of the mobile-friendly site for when they do get the RPM alert?
I could probably dig it up. Yep. Let me see here. Yeah, I do. You're talking about the URL?
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
once you get that RPM alert, it'll send you a text message, and in the text message there'll be a link that'll prompt you to log in with your same credentials as you have for the dashboard. If you don't have any login credentials for the dashboard, you can simply call the 800 number or email the Chevy Pro Solutions, and they'll get you set up. And all it does is give you a few options with customer information.
Yeah, so that, to his point, basically, you don't have to download an app. When you open it up, it's going to be right there on your phone. I think one of the things that we need to make sure is that all your users know how to log into the system, right? So we're sending them a text message, but they're not drilling in some cases and actually logging in. So your first time, you got to log in. Once you log in the first time, you're not going to have to do that in the future. But we need to make sure that our guys have their credentials, and if you don't, just give us a call. Make sure they get set up. So we don't want to send those text messages and then they don't get opened, right? Because we won't send those again. So make sure your guys have their credentials and they log in for that very first time, but there's no need to download an app.
Hang on, Jeff. I'm working on it, brother.
All right, and Kevin, I just want to answer the next question from Darian Durstein. Darian, Brian went in the beginning and updated all those statuses. He assigned every one of your customers or so on, so that's why it's like that. You can simply change it as you get them. So, but that's something Brian did in the tool when we first started.
So there you go. There's the URL right there. I will send that out when I send the video. We'll include that there to make sure you got it. What you click on that and then you use your assigned login. It's your email plus the password that you were given, and the password's very easy to change if you want to use something you're more familiar with. I see, brother. So, Darian, we got that. Is that the one you just addressed, Jeff? Darian? Hey, Bruce, did you see that one? Okay, no, yeah, I see you got it. I'm sorry, I was sidetracked during that. Good. Other questions, folks? This is great. Any other questions? Comments? Hey, everybody's good. Everybody's unmuted right now. Anybody? Everybody's good. We're happy. We're ready to go sell some units, right? Bruce, I think we're good. What do you think, man?
I think so too. Just don't hesitate to call us, everyone, or send us an email if you need anything, any additional training, any support, usernames, passwords. Need to get your mobile user set up on RPM. Anything you need, just give us a call, send us an email. We'll take care of it. And have a great Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you for your time, Bruce. We'll see you this afternoon. And then your dealerships, we do have another session at 2 p.m. If you have folks coming in a little later or other folks would like to attend, we're doing the same thing at 2, and we'll record that one also. Thanks a lot. Jeff and John, thank you for your support, man. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Kevin.
All right.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks now. As we say in Brooklyn, you all come back now, you hear?